Hopefully it won't flatten my tires. Freaking Joseph, man. But anyway, guess we're doing that thing now. The thing that I mentioned in one of my videos. For people who don't know, let's go over the details quickly. So ever since I bought this block, it has had this issue. Well, actually it has had many issues. But this is kind of annoying and needs to be sorted out before I proceed using the machine. So the issue is that the engine oil gets diluted over time. The engine oil level is almost at space. The hydraulic fluid is leaking into the crankcase. So over time the two oils mix, viscosity goes down, and so does the oil pressure. Now last year when I changed the oil, even after working the machine and letting the oil nicely warm up, even then the oil pressure was sitting somewhere 2.5 and 3. But while I was doing this work, the oil pressure was basically at 1. So according to the Soviet Bible, 1 is the minimal pressure you can still use the machine. So if you keep using the thing at those pressures, then the engine on this thing will just prematurely wear out. And dude, this is basically like a new engine. Now if we take the hour meter into fact, the thing is showing 866 hours on this thing. When I got the machine, the hour meter was 821 or something like that. The thing does not even have 1000 hours on it. It's basically like brand new. So the problem at hand is the hydraulic pumps. The bigger one, which is hiding under the belly, feeds the main hydraulics, and the smaller pump, which is hiding here. Now that one powers the servo mechanism, and that servo controls the clutch. Yeah, guys, the thing has a dedicated hydraulic pump just for the clutch. The thing basically has a manual clutch on it, but you know, the thing is so huge that it requires some hydraulic in order to function correctly. Now, for example, you can't really play with the clutch once the engine is shut off. If you leave it upright, you can't really push it down. Unless you jack the thing down with a 20-ton hydraulic bottle jack. But most likely it will not move the clutch. You will just kind of mess up a bunch of linkages. So the goal of this video is pretty simple. Just take both of the hydraulic pumps off, replace the shaft seals, put them back. That's 1, 2, 3. Replace the engine oil because that's kind of ruined. And oh yeah, one more thing. Why is it so oily down here? What is leaking now? I thought Soviet equipment don't leak, man. Smells like nothing. Oh yeah, the hatch. Dude, I hate it. It's horrible. This thing is just garbage. Thing weighs more than my stupid jokes. So I'm thinking once the pump job is finished, I can modify this hatch somehow. So I wouldn't need to take it off ever again. I don't know, couple of hinges and whatnot. Put some wheels somewhere. And should be better. I hope. Oh man. Heavy bastard. Dude, I have no idea what that is. It's been riding along ever since I bought the thing. Let's see how long it will last. By the way, I saw this funny Joseph video on YouTube. I think that was a bit different model, D130. I'm not really sure what the difference is between the two. They basically look the same. But dude, that was so dirty. The tracks and everything was just covered in mud. And I really like what the guy did. Dude just drove through a lake. Basically the water was somewhere here. And it worked. Dozer was super clean after that shower. Now if I can find that video, I'm gonna throw it down in the description. It's unlikely though, because the title was in Russian, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna find that. You know, let's just kinda get to work. Sometimes I just can't shut up. Comfy. expertly executed. I'm pretty sure I cleaned that last time. So may need to look into that leak later. Right now I can't really tell. Everything is just kind of oily. I definitely remember that hole leaking, but it was very insignificant. Honestly, I'm not even sure what that hole is for. I don't know, a wild guess. You could hook up an extra pump on that side. Anyhow, now if you guys remember, the Girovets had the same issue. Hydraulic pump was just leaking oil through the shaft seal. But in Girovets' case, the oil never reached the engine. The pumps on that machine were connected to a pump housing, so the oil just kind of leaked into that compartment. In Joseph's case though, the pumps are directly hooked up to the engine block. So the leaky oil has not a long distance to go just to reach that pump. I personally think it's not the bigger pump's fault, rather the smaller pump, which is back there. I'm not even sure how easy it is to access that, but I'm basing that theory on that seal over there. That is not Soviet cancer gasket. That's just some standard paper gasket there. Yeah. So what that is telling us is that somebody has taken that pump off sometime during this century. However, because the nature of this job requires me to drain the entire hydraulic system, I will not be winging this and I will take both the pumps off. Now I don't want to be in a situation where I only did one pump, refilled all the oils, and then it turned out, hey, it was actually the other pump's fault. And then I would need to do this all over again, so I don't want to be there. Trust me, man, this thing has quite a bit of hydraulic fluid in it. Okay, well, you go do your thing. Man, that fluid does not look the best. Sucks. Mida sa tõmbled, hoia nüüd paigas. One Mississippi. Mississippi. Three Mississippi. Dude, that does not look oil, that looks like mud. It's exactly what it looks like the last time I changed it, last year. I guess there is just dirt in the system. and the oil washes that dirt away and takes it with it. And so much for my new carpet, man. Man, it looks pretty dark. But man, the oil feels pretty oily. I don't know. Oh, it's that concrete hose again. Pretty sure that does not move. No room as well. Mine pekki, no käsi ka ei mahu siit läbi. Well, that's gonna be fun. Wait a minute, that thing was loose. Wasn't even tight. Oh yeah, these concrete pipes don't leak. You don't even need a strap for them. I think I'm just gonna undo the clamps and undo the bump. Maybe the weight of the bump will help to pull the thing out. Okay, so as I recall, this pump is pretty heavy. It's about 15, maybe 20 kilos. So basically like a bag of cement. Hopefully it won't just drop down on me. And that stupid concrete pipe up there. That stupid concrete pipe is holding the pump up, it's not letting go, although I undid the zip ties up there. I figured this might be a problem, but I also figured maybe not. Kurat, kui pikk see võll on, no mis asja? No terve mootor tuleb välja korra. Oh, pekki küll reis. Piece of crap, I hate you. Yeah, the bump is exactly the same as on the serivce. The only thing different is the coupler. This even has two of them. Pretty interesting. What the hell happened to my hand? Oh, look at that. There's a valve there. Right there. So when undoing the pump, you can just turn the valve. No need to drain the hydraulic reservoir. Good to know. In my case though, because I'm removing both the pumps, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure the other pump does not have a valve. Look at that, guys. For once, we can rejoice. There is no cancer gasket on a part that we removed from a Soviet machine. That just doesn't happen, yo. 100A, yeah, exactly the same as on the serivce. That means I should have the seal for it. Although I am almost 100% sure that this one had a seal replacement done on it at some point, courtesy of that paper gasket. You know, it feels about the same, but check that out. The snap ring. What's up with that? Yeah, that snap ring is bent kind of all over the place, but you know, seems to work. You know the saying, if it works, don't fix it. It might be a bit tricky to get it out of here. Maybe. Whoa. Oi pekkereissäkin. Okay. Another one there. Yes. No, this is not concrete. Spirals. Pretty okay, I guess. Yeah, I think this was okay. My wild guess. Look at that. Made in Poland, not USSR. What about this thing though? No, I don't see anything on it. It's just a PIA. Produced in Asia, maybe? Dude, I think I have better luck putting that thing back there. Yes, guys. I remember where I put that. But I can't find the pipe. Maybe I will remind myself on the toilet. Strange. Okay. Definitely stiffer. Who knows, maybe it was the seal. But yeah, gotta make sure I don't forget. Gotta make sure I don't forget those in there. Oh, that snap ring as well. I don't think I have a spare for that size. Never mind. Actually, I do. I wonder why it has two couplers on it. I think it's just the extension. Bottoms up, yo. Drink. Dude. Oh, I need to build the gasket as well. The sealing area on it is so tiny. Why not make it bigger? Maybe it's not required. You know, the only oil that can really escape from this part is the splashy oil from the engine, which is supposed to lubricate these gears, I guess. Actually, not that one, rather this one, which rides inside the engine like that. Oh, and the part from the leaking pump. That's about it. Technically, I don't really need to put anything here. It's a paper gasket. You don't need to do extra seal it, I guess. But a viewer of mine sent me this stuff. Gasket cement. He told me it's okay to use with paper gaskets. So I'm gonna test the stuff out. It's basically like paint. I don't know, just gonna paint the thing on there, I guess. But before I do that, I'm gonna go clean up the other end. That was pretty messed up. It looks pretty good. Should throw this in the fuel tank. One thing's for sure, guys, this stuff just smells so good. Smells like sauna for some reason. Mis kuradi pidi see läks siia nüüd? Nii pidi vist läks. Nii sees. Oh man, it's not fun. Definitely not the fun part. Although I put a new hose there, that thing is also like concrete, man. It's so hard to push the pipe in there. And because that end is welded to the hydraulic tank, I cannot move that around. So it's really, really hard to put the pump back as is. I'm gonna try a bit more, but if I can't do it, then at least I have an option. I could remove that part up there, secure the pump, and then just put that part back. Yeah, definitely need to do that. Oh look, we can see inside the pump there. Standard gear pump right there. Why do I have this sudden urge to throw a bunch of sand down that tube? Sometimes I cannot control my evil thoughts. I can't even push that in there. No, kuradi jobune, mine pekki sisse raisk. A bit more of that wonderful liquid. No way, man. I cannot freaking see anything. Marco! Polo! What the hell are those holes? That's there. No kurat, ta peab ju siin olema kuskil. No kõik koha läbi kamminud juba, sest ei leia seda auku. 6 miles of extension is not enough. That kind of reminded me of my endoscopy exam. That was not fun, guys. Sucked. Like a lot. Okay, well that takes care of that bump. Let's go do the other one. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? Looks like I need to take this block off because I can't access that nut there. This is in the way. Nej, states upp. Maybe this thing will do it. It moved. Yeah, the pump is still full of oil. Okay. Yeah, I need to remove the bottom one as well because that's... Yeah, this thing is also covering that nut or bolt maybe. Yeah. Let it flow. Let it flow. I stopped gearing about 7 years ago. Man, I did not even write that down. Just kind of popped in my head. Hopefully Disney is not gonna sue me. What? Did you still can't get that nut off? What a strange design. Look at that design, man. The nut cannot come off. This part will get in the way. And that's part of the pump, so that doesn't move. You can't get a socket in there because socket won't fit. Only option is the wrench. And there is no bloody room to turn the wrench anywhere. Bloody hell. Well, somehow the thing has to come off. I mean, it was put on there. Knipex Junior to the rescue. You know what, guys? This is probably gonna be my slowest nut job I've ever done. I will be right back. Is the last bolt smaller? You can't see anything. I think that's smaller. What? Why? What a mystery. Yep, we got that cancer gasket there. Meaning only one thing, this pump has been on the machine ever since it rolled out of Stalin's workshop. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a quick wash me Sally treatment. Then we can maybe make sense of things. What a tiny little dirt. Well, actually that feels pretty good. Wow. Really hard to turn the thing. Man, you can't even. So health-wise, I would say this pump is doing pretty good. Because that shaft is pretty solid. Compared to the bigger one, which yeah, you could turn by hand pretty easily. But who knows, maybe that does not mean anything. Maybe I should have bought a gasket for it. I'm pretty sure that's available. This is a pretty standard Soviet pump. 32. NSH 32. Yeah, this seal is definitely dosed. You could tell by just looking at it. Plus I can't get the needle in, it's so hard. Wow. Dude, building a gasket for this is gonna be a pain. You know what, let's go check out the other end. Maybe the cancer gasket is intact and I can just paint over the thing like Mona Lisa. I hope that does not come out. Well, the gasket is intact, I don't see any tears anywhere. It's gonna be a pain to remove that thing if I tried. You know what, I'm just gonna clean that and pretend I'm an artist. I don't think this is gonna work out. I think I have a better idea. Relatively good. Building a gasket. Gasket is now finished. Guys, check this out. Pretty cool. Made in Ukraine. Not USSR. I don't know. I thought I'd point that out. Maybe it's important. I wonder how much water got into the engine sump. Guess we're gonna find out later. I'm gonna drain the engine oil as well. Läheb meil siia niimoodi. Ja pump läheb meil niimoodi. confused. It's supposed to be like this. But it goes like that. What? Oh, never mind. Never mind, guys. I'm a moron. Man, this thing's just smells so good. Just want to drink it or something. This thing smells like tar oil. It smells so good. I think there's a bit of alcohol in it. Maybe you can get high from it. Smell is delicious. Can't get the teeth to match up. Oh, there we go. Säädäväristäjät. Kurat, midagi paremat ei ole teha või? Minge mängige ruumi. Jevitasin. Dude, Joseph must be really happy. Guy's getting yearly hydraulic fluid changes now. A little bit more. Man, it's gonna be weird answering those IRS questions. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? Well, let me explain the situation. Basically, guys, my YouTube thing because of that, I had to make like a company, and the company's main topic, or the thing what the company does, is creating movies and TV shows. That was like the closest thing I could choose from the list. And I'm just kind of waiting for the day until the IRS people contact me and ask me questions like, hey man, you produce movies for a living. Why the hell do you need 100 liters of hydraulic fluid per week? Please explain that to me. And you know how it is with IRS people. If they don't understand your explanation, then they're gonna screw you into the next universe. So I have to very carefully explain, why do I need 100 liters of hydraulic fluid per week? Basically I have no good answer. So I'm screwed. But that's not important. Guys, I wanted to ask you, could I use this old oil somewhere? I mean, maybe in some hydraulic system. It has this weird grayish color to it. Definitely feels like oil. Very oily. I'm not sure why it's gray. Grayish, brownish combination. But dude, this thing only has like 20 to 30 hours on it. I put that in there last year, so I think it's still good, although I'm not sure about the color. Please let me know down in the comments section. Because you know me, I always read that crap. Okay, so before I get to the engine oil deal, I want to check one more thing. Maybe some of you remember, but the last time I did something like this on the Girovets, the problem was that one of the pumps did not pump any oil after doing basically everything I did here. Why only one pump though? I don't know. But I fixed it by opening the pressure line, so that line, and letting the air out, because there was an air bubble stuck there. I don't understand how then that can develop, honestly. It shouldn't develop because the pump got plenty of fluid from the feed line. So how can an air bubble get stuck at the output line? But I'm gonna open this up just a little bit. If don't see any air coming out, then we're good. At least we should be good. There's no oil. Oh, there we go. There was actually some air in there. The oil should have come out immediately. Interesting. Okay, well, let's deal with the engine oil now. Dude, I hope I'm not gonna soak this thing in oil again. Actually, I think we've reached a point by now where Biden is just sitting with his Joint Chief of Staff and they're discussing how can they bring some freedom to this impact driver. Basically, that means I'm gonna lose this tool soon. A bunch of Navy SEALs gonna jump at me, man. Look at that, we got some water there. Not a lot though. I'm guessing it's from the pressure washing, I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this drain for a while. Gonna go have some lunch and yeah. One of the blocks has a magnet on it. There is some steel there. Yes guys, this thing has 2 oil plugs. Addition to that, it also has 2 oil sumps and 2 oil pumps. You know how it is, 2 is better than 1. Põlv ka kõik selle sitaga koos. Look at that amount, guys. That is quite a lot of oil. It's very, very liquidy. The viscosity is very low. It's basically a mix of hydraulic fluid and engine oil. But you know, look at the bright side. At least there's no coolant in there. Now sadly my Soviet Bible, it does not specify how much oil, sorry. How much oil does this engine take? The book is very specific about disassembling things. Even talks about disassembling oil. What? But it's kind of useless when it comes to general stuff. I think I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna put 30 liters in the thing and then check the level. Just realized I can't rely on the dipstick right now. The tractor is leaning pretty heavily. Yeah, a bit of googling and getting numbers like 32 plus minus 2.
President oli ka seal dekooras.
Kes see?
President, Karis.
Päriselt või?
Jaa, 2 turvameest olid järele. Otsis mingit lampi seal. Vaatasin A8 uus sees seal ukse ees.
Päriselt räägid?
Jaa, päriselt jah.
Mis asja? Seal ei ole teenindajad, kes käivad ostmas asju? That's pretty interesting. Santa Claus said that he went to the Home Depot and the president of Estonia was also there looking for some lamp thing. I personally think he was BSing me, but who knows. Anyway, let's open up the refinery. I took it out once, but I did not know how to open it, so maybe we'll get the same cake as we got from the Giroids. Personally, I don't think so. I think this is pretty... I think this should be pretty clean. Butterfingers, man. Definitely bigger. Definitely bigger. No, I thought it had this in there. The one that Steve brought me. But no, that is a lot bigger. It's heavy though. Maybe not that much. Then I don't even know from what machine this is from. There's only one way to find out. I gotta buy all the Soviet tractors in existence. And then one by one I can confirm where is this from. Sounds like a great plan. Let's do that. Oh man, why is this stuck so much? I have to undo that nut and then I can get the core out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's working. There we go. What the hell, bro? Somebody stole my cupcake. I'm gonna make sure the jets are clear as well. Actually, I learned that from you guys. So those tiny holes, they need to be clear. Huh? Dude, what the hell? Look at that thread. What happened there, man? What did I do wrong? Just undetailing like I was supposed to. Wait a minute. Actually, I remember the first time I tried to open it, then that nut was kind of weird. It didn't want to open. So maybe this problem was before my time. Dude, if that's the case, then who cares? As long as the thing tightens up nicely. That's good. So, when reassembling these things, guys, the book says that you're supposed to mark them because they're balanced from the factory. But this thing has that pin over there which lines up with that hole. I think that's its purpose. So you could put it back the same way it came apart. Funky threads. Still needs to go a bit more. Yeah, gonna leave it at that. I got the thing flat with the copper gasket, so that's good. It looks like it wants to go a bit more, but dude, I've been trying for like half an hour. Those threads being as they were, don't want to risk breaking the thing. May you have a long and healthy life. Now this engine does not have a traditional oil filter. All it has is that thing. I don't know why. Maybe the engineers who built this thing thought it doesn't need one. But no. Overall, I think I pretty much finished everything that I wanted. Got both the pumps off, seals replaced, new oil in the hydraulic system and engine with the refinery cleanup. Now let's focus on that now. Okay, well the plan is pretty simple. Basically, I just gotta grade a hatch for this hatch. And plasma cut through that. There. Add a couple of hinges here. Then just continue cutting up to that point. Then you could flip this entire section up and down. And I can still use those holes to lock it in place. it crapped out. Anyone wanna buy some modern art? Gonna start the bidding off at 57 trillion tons of gold. Modern art, guys. That's worth something. You know, although the weather kind of crapped out, still did a pretty good job, honestly. A pretty decent clean cut. I think this steel plate is about 6mm or something like that. And it did warp. No, ever so slightly it did, yeah, move. But I don't think that's gonna be a issue. Shouldn't be a problem. It's very common for these types of molded pieces to have some type of pressure in them. And it's just like with wood, if you cut them open, the pressure gets released and the steel warps in some way. So that's totally understandable. You know, I could try to like bend it back, but I don't think I will achieve anything with that. So I think it's gonna work. I mean, at least on the table, it seems to work pretty good. Just gotta put the thing back. And hopefully I will never need to take it off again. Kuradi! Ta-da! This is so much better. I wonder why did they not do this in the factory. So easy now. Wow. But I think that's it, guys. Before we jump for joy and go for some skinny dipping, let's fire her up and see if anything's leaking. Just gotta make sure of that before I close the hatch. Been pumping for a while now. Where is all that fuel going? I don't recall touching the fuel system, but the thing has lost its prime again, and you know, I've been pumping up fuel for a while now. And the fuel is coming and it's going, but I'm not sure where. So maybe the filter butts are completely empty up there. I did not notice any fuel leaks. Getting fuel through the plungers, so the thing basically is primed, but not getting anything from up there. I should also get some fuel up there. Oh, there we go. Very weird. The thing still has its fuel problems. The problem is basically it has a leak somewhere. I don't know where. I haven't found it yet. You know, when it sits, it loses prime. But there is a catch. There is like a weird glitch. Sometimes it loses prime over a day or two. But sometimes the thing sits for weeks and does not lose its prime. So how do you guys explain that? I don't understand that. At least getting the prime up with the new pump I added is a lot easier now. Well, actually before it was impossible. Now it's at least doable. That bird agrees. Basically, I should be able to find a leak if I pressurize the system and just follow the fuel lines. But you know, I've been unable to find it. Maybe it's leaking internally somewhere. Okay, so there appears to be a problem. So basically, the main hydraulics, they work. So the bigger pump does function, but the smaller one, the servo mechanism did not function. Tried to press the clutch pedal down. That thing did not even move. Maybe it's that air bubble thing. I kind of forgot to do it in that pump. I don't know why. Well, it's open. You should see oil by now. Oh, look at that. Air is pulsating out of the system. Interesting. I'm not fully gonna close that. Gonna fire her up. Oh, by the way, I just now realized there is a valve here as well for the second pump. How the hell did I miss that? It's kind of obvious. It's right there. Both the oil looking glasses are empty. Huh. Okay. I guess the servo mechanism was empty. It's on level now. Okay guys, I think that's about it. Got everything that I planned sorted out. Hydraulics nicely work now. Did not see any visible leaks. Oh, and the engine oil. The engine oil pressure, 4.2. Magnificent. So technically I can put this thing back to service now. I do have that rebowling contest lined up for it. But first I gotta do my crane project. So I ordered the steel and I'm hoping to build that crane for the Soviet tractor over there. While I wait for the steel though, there are actually 2 more things that I could do to Joseph. I noticed the problem down below and you know that priming hatch. Every time I need to use it, I need to get that hatch open. Requires a bunch of angle grinders. So I'm gonna do a hatch for that thing as well. Now a lot of you actually said that I should install like an electric pump on it. No, I guess that's like doable, but actually I need to be here anyway. I need to open those bleed valves up and then just kind of pump it and see when the fuel starts flowing out of those lines. So I don't know, I don't think I will benefit much from my electric pump. I think that will work fine. I just need some faster access to it. Wait a minute. I guess I made the hatch upside down. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Maybe that's fine. But dude, it matters not. Apparently you can install this the wrong way as well. Actually fits a lot better this way. So maybe the other side is wrong. I think this is the correct way. What do you think? And this is the wrong way. Oh man, whatever, who cares? A lot easier to access that. Oh, by the way, sorry about the color. I was unaware that I did not have the right color. My bad. But anyway, the second thingy. Now, I'm not really sure when this happened, but I don't think it happened with me. So you see that little strap around the springs? I mean, that looks pretty normal, right? On this side though, not so good. I think there was a weld down here somewhere, and the thing just snapped for some reason. I'm not really sure how important that is. Probably is. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I think I should fix that. Try to bend it back and weld it together.
Kurat, miks sitta lendab suhu?
You know what, I think I need to bring some heat into this equation. so annoying to weld this upside down. Dude, my carpet, man, it's gonna burn up. Oh, man. I think my weld is gonna need a second opinion. I will not trust that one. Well, look at the bright side, guys. At least I will have a number 14 and 13 wrench with me all the time. But I think that's it. Now all I have to do is we'll sit here for about 1 hour and 57 minutes. Just to make sure the thing does not burn down. But you guys can go. Bye. What are you still doing here? The movie is over. Go away.